we got different TYCs. We got Gainesville, you got Brownwood, you got Guinness. But only the violent offenders is gonna go to Guinness. If you got a real violent case, you're gonna go to Guinness. Now the process in Guinness, I can speak on that because I was there. Guinness is supposed to be one of the most rehabilitate. It's supposed to help you really rehabilitate yourself. They got so many programs. We got drug programs. We got a program to help you with your aggravation. We got a program where you go to captive offender groups. We got different programs. So it's what it does is it helps us give back. It helps us show remorse for all of our victims. So that's what TYC is. That's what Guinness is, you know.
Now tell people, where did you grow up specifically? Where did you grow up specifically, and what was the neighborhood like where you lived? All right, so we go into as much detail as you can. In 3, 2.
Yeah, man. To be more specific, like I was telling y'all, man, I was born and raised in West Dallas. To be more specific, I was in West Dallas projects. You know, so like I said, I grew up in the projects. I grew up in, you know, my hood, we call it, you know, we like a bowl. You know what I'm saying? We like a bowl. No one can come in that ain't from there. If you're not from West Dallas, you're not about to come inside of West Dallas as far as, you know, do no hustling or nothing like that. West Dallas was an island. We was a real island. And growing up in West Dallas, man, it's, you know, we got a name for ourselves for fighting. You know, because one thing about West Dallas is we have a boys club. And everybody got to be a part of that boys club, the boys club structure. In order to go to the boys club, you're going to get picked on. You're going to, I mean, it's just evident. It's just how it go down there, you know, in West Dallas. So that's one thing that's one of the main things we had to learn how to do in West Dallas was we had to learn how to box. You know, so that's just giving you a brief of me coming up in the projects and how, and you know, that's just my strategy when I first jumped off the porch.
Now tell us about your background. Excuse me, hold on. Tell us about your background. Tell us about your background, your parents.
Okay.
Where were they from? What did they do for work? Was your father absent from your life? If you know, if so, or if he wasn't, what type of influence did your parents have when you was a child? But that might be too much. Let's just keep it brief here. We'll just start with tell us about your background and your parents. Where were they from and what did they do for work? In 3, 2.
Now, like as far as me coming up, like I said, man, I'm kind of different from a lot of people because I did grow up with a mother and I grew up with a father. So my household was really complete coming up. You know what I'm saying? My dad always worked. My dad has always had a great job. He worked at the company where they made fur coats at. My mom, she always worked. She had multiple jobs. You know, she retired driving school buses. So when it come down to that part of the game, I always had a good structure. You know what I'm saying, coming up. But, and people will say, okay, with the structure you had, what made you stir straight? I always say this. I had a bigger brother that I looked it up to more than I looked up to my father. You know what I'm saying? So by me looking up to my bigger brother and watching him, how he act and the way he do things and the respect that he had amongst his fellow peers, that what made me be like I wanted to be like my big brother. He was an idol to me. I wasn't looking up to football players and basketball players. I always looked up to my big bro. So with me saying that, you know, and then jumping off the porch, you gotta realize now, I mean, we in a hood world. Hey man, it's treacherous.
Now, how did your father being absent affect you?
Yeah, but my father, he was there 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Now Now tell us more about your mother and the things she went through and the effects it had on you.
Hey, what's up, nigga? You at the airport? Shit, they want to talk, dude. They can't say nothing. There's no talking.
Nah, they can talk now. I'm just playing some shit. They can talk.
Yeah, y'all can talk now, nigga. You hear me? Do you hear me? You can talk now, nigga.
They can't talk, tell them to be quiet.